tools with great
Same with
stability,
Tide too.
security, and Unreal Engine 6. And when we think about the next generation of Epic with huge launch plans towards the end of the year. But before I tell you guys how I feel about this whole situation, let me go over which game modes are shutting down as a result of this. Rocket Racing will be ending in October 2026. Fortnite Ballistics will be ending April 16th, and Festival Battle Stage is also ending April 16th. Keep in mind, the festival mode will remain festival battle stage with an additional mode is kind of like a mode where you get up against other people, but that will also end April 16th. The reason behind these modes shutting down is that they're just not getting enough players, and for Fortnite and developers to update and update. So we'd rather just get rid of them entirely and save their money. A lot of people are very upset about Ballistics because it has the most potential, and some of the gamers even put out a message to Twitch saying that him and his team would buy Ballistics and update it and maintain it themselves. However, Twitch did respond basically saying that they need to give developers the tools to be able to make game modes like Ballistics, which you can't currently do. And speaking of the event, a lot of people are still blame on that being the reason we are in this situation. You guys might know Epic Games has paid out $722 million to third-party creators since the event has come out. Maps like Zero Brain Rot, Red vs. Blue, The Pit have received tens of millions of dollars through this system. People are saying instead of paying so much for all of these maps, Epic Games could have kept most of that money and also kept their employees. As someone who's a content creator in Fortnite but also has a team that develops the event, let me give you guys my take. It all started when Fortnite rolled out the new payout program. Maps that existed for multiple years, making money off of support a creator, will now get paid based off of engagement. And Epic was willing to give 40% of the revenue to item shop maps that are engaging players. Epic themselves are also a part of this program, so in reality, they're really only getting 15 to 80% of the item shop revenue to sell maps. That 60 to 80% still ended up being over $700 million over the last few years. But here's where I think they messed up. Epic knew that once this system started, simple maps like Red vs. Blue, the kids, and practice maps were going to be making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars per play. And considering those maps already existed and players were already engaged in them, it seemed like paying them that much money could be a waste. But Epic had a longer-term vision. If they pay out millions of dollars to these simple maps, maybe developers from outside of Fortnite will want to build high-quality games in the Fortnite ecosystem. And as a result of those high-quality games being made, more players would download Fortnite to go play these games, and overall, Fortnite would grow, Epic would make more money, and eventually the money that was being paid out for the maps would shift towards these higher-quality games, and at the end, everyone wins. But what actually happened was very different. So Epic started paying out millions of dollars to very simple combat maps and practice maps. And when developers came to try to build on Fortnite, ESN was not ready with the right tools for higher quality games. The developers spent a lot of time and resources trying to make high quality games, only for the tools to not exist or for a random update to break their map entirely. As a result, the algorithm was not pushing these maps, and instead, the simple combat maps and practice maps dominated for the first few years of Fortnite. So essentially, Epic paid out hundreds of millions of dollars for maps that already existed and would have continued to exist regardless if Fortnite paid that money or not. And any high-quality game that was made ended up being buried or just didn't live up to the standards that players expected. Most of that was due to the fact that key event features that people were waiting on kept getting delayed and postponed. And now if we fast forward to the present, there are a lot of new top maps that are not necessarily practice or combat maps, like Steel of Brain Rot, for example. That is currently the highest earning map in Fortnite, and a lot of people are putting blame on that map specifically because Epic has paid tens of millions of dollars for what is essentially a Roblox clone. But let me interject really quickly. The Steel the Brain Rot map is probably one of the few maps that actually brings players onto the Fortnite platform. Every time they do a live event, the actual player count peaks much higher than if they didn't do a live event. So this map actually generates people going through the brain rot or the AI swap. It still does its job. Does grow to ecosystem, and Epic needs more maps that do that. And let me make things perfectly clear. I have put any blame on the map creators themselves. If a simple map concept is enough for the players and Epic is willing to pay as much as thousands, not millions of dollars for those concepts, then you'd be a fool not to do that. And look at how Epic handled the payout system, and how hundreds of millions of dollars were paid out without ever really knowing the creative ecosystem themselves, because they didn't really make games that people wanted to download Fortnite to play. And that is still what Fortnite is trying to do. They are trying to be the platform. They are trying to go head to head with Roblox, and they are losing that fight. Roblox is faster. It has more tools and capabilities. It has a bigger player count, and this year it has grown while Fortnite has lost players. It doesn't necessarily mean the fight is over, but if Fortnite wants to win this fight, they can't just tunnel vision on trying to beat Roblox. Jim Sweeney said it himself, and I'm going to reiterate. The only way Fortnite gets out of this situation is for them to focus on battle royale. That is what makes Fortnite what it is today. That is the reason there are players even playing creative maps. They go play creative maps to experience a smaller version of battle royale. And eventually these players are so bought into what Fortnite has become, they'll play other versions because they're not combat related. And it all starts with VR. And to me, 2025 is when it seems like Fortnite stops putting as much effort into battle royale updates. Instead of getting new and fresh content, we got a lot of reskins, we got a lot of collaborations, we got a lot of rehashed concepts. And yes, Fortnite has been out for over 8 years, so it's hard to see the idea of less than exciting, but I had a strong feeling that Fortnite could have been doing more for VR. But they were a little too distracted with all the other parts of the game and their business. And as a result, this year we saw the amount of playtime that battle royale has been. And I can confidently say this is the main culprit that led us to this. Over 1,000 people let go. And guys, some of these names are extremely notable and very valuable to the world of Fortnite. Evan Kenny is one of the principal engineers who worked at Epic Games, and he was let go. And I was honestly shocked to find this out. He's involved in so many parts of the game, from competitive to live events to fixing random bugs. I've seen this guy put a lot of passion and effort, and he's extremely talented at what he does. And now he's done. His tweet announcing that he's been laid off got 125,000 likes and over 11 million. That is how much of an impact he has had on us. Both of these long-time employees who have been with Fortnite for over 7, 8, or 9 years that have also been let go. Even the original artist and musicians don't see the standards that we have today was let go. Pretty much every single part of the company has lost people. And my main concern is, what are the future seasons of Fortnite going to look like without these employees? A lot of them are extremely passionate, and they brought a ton to the table, and they helped build the world of Fortnite, and now they're gone. This is the first time I've been very concerned about the future of the game. Some of the clear here from the very beginning, I do want to let you guys know that I am not jumping ship. This ship is sinking. I'm going to be here to and when I see that the really thing is focused on battle royale, live events, and giving us great seasons, I'm going to have to wait and see what actually comes out in the next season. I'm really hoping Fortnite locks in and focuses on what makes it great. I've been saying this for a while. Battle Royale needs to be the main focus. I understand the concept of the metaverse and all these other things. I am a huge fan of the idea, but not at the expense of what made Fortnite what it is. I do want to leave you guys on a positive note, but honestly, this is special day. And genuinely, I am looking.
experience and probably charging $40 for it. You don't know exactly how much the budget was, but it's been estimated $200 to $300 million, and they have to delay the game and then alter it because of the plagiarism
Bro.
controversy. So that added even more money to it, and they had 400 developers working on this game. So clearly, this wasn't a low budget, quickly put